How do you repay the maintenance loan? I thought you were here to tell us. Why keep asking us questions? Anyone? It's exactly the same as the tuition fee loan. They're all added together. You have one loan in effect. So we have the £9,250 a year, and then we have the up to £11,000 a year of living costs on top. You lump them together over 3 years. You leave university. You will have a loan on your account of somewhere between, £30,000 and £60,000. That will be the nominal amount. And you will then repay that 9% of everything you earn above £25,725 for 30 years unless you earn enough to clear the debt first. And this is the really important bit. How many people do you think clear what they borrowed plus interest, which we'll discuss a little bit later, in the 30 years before the debt wipes? 10%? Anyone else? 5%. It's actually a little bit more. 17% is predicted. So 83% of people will not clear the borrowing figure plus interest in the 30 year before it wipes. So what's that? It's about 100 of you in the room. So who am I going to pick? We'll pick. These lot are your high achievers, right? Or actually high earners. So you're all going to be the high earners up to probably about here. So you lot are all going to repay in full. So what I say to you is totally different than what I'm going to say to all of this. I'm just look at her face. Why am I at the bottom? That was it. I was. I'm going to be one of them over there, Do you want to swap places? No. Right. So that's really important. Just visualize that. The vast majority of those of you who go to university, assuming you all do, and you can make your decision after this because you'll actually understand the choice that you're making, are not going to clear the debt in full in the 30 years. Now, this is really important because let's go back to £60,000. £60,000, my children. Right, let's go back to that. For 83% of you, in effect, the amount that you borrow, the debt that you'll currently see on your statement that says £60,000 plus interest being added each year is pretty much irrelevant for all of you. Because what you pay depends on what you earn. And you're going to pay it for 30 years. You're going to pay that 9% for 30 years. Can I have 2 volunteers? This is going to be relatively simple. Don't be scared. Yes. So if you come out and you come out, if you both come out. Right. Don't be scared. I promise it'll be nice. So you come either way. What's your name? Ao. So you stand there. And your name? Carice. You're my graduate. You're going to university. And you're going to have your student loan. You're going to do all of that. Ao? No. Ao, no go. Wasn't good, but it was quick, and that'll do. So, right, so you're not going to university. This is the practical impact. You two are props, just look pretty, it's good. This is the practical impact of going to university for most of you. Do you know how tax works?
No.
Okay, so let's start basically. All of us are allowed to earn currently this year, and these thresholds change each year, £12,500 a year before income tax is taken out of us. So if you earn up to 12.5 grand, you're not taxed. If any of you have got part-time jobs now, I doubt you earn over £12,500 a year, so you won't pay any tax on it. If you did, you'd start to pay tax. £12,500 a year, you pay 20% tax of everything you earn above 12.5 grand. That first 12.5 grand, you still don't pay tax on. Above 12.5 grand, you're going to pay tax on it. It's called marginal taxation. At £50,000, the tax rate goes up to 40%. So everything you earn above £50,000, 40% disappears. You keep 60, the state takes 40. But on the amounts below, you're still paying 20% on the gap in between and nothing here. It's really important. People say to me, I still get, working people who've worked for years who say, I'm about to get a pay rise and it's going to make me a higher rate taxpayer. That's the 40% band. Should I say no? Because they think the 40% is going to apply to all their earnings. It only applies to the bit above 50 grand. So earning more pays more. And if you're lucky enough to earn over £150,000, the income tax rate is 45%. But it's different for graduates in practical terms. because graduates repay 9% of everything they earn above £25,725. And they repay it just like tax through the payroll if you're employed, so it comes off before you get it. So let's do it. Non-graduate, graduate. Okay. From £0 to £12,500, how much tax will you be effectively paying?
Nothing.
From £0 to £12,500, how much tax will you effectively be paying?
Nothing.
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 It's the same, yeah. From £12,500, listen to the crucial figure, to £25,725. Do you remember how much will you be paying?
20.
20%. How much will you be paying?
20.
20%. Right? Same amount. From £25,725, which is the student finance repayment threshold that only graduates repay above that. Not giving any clues. How much will you pay? The tax threshold hasn't changed. It's the same as it was before.
20.
He got it. You're with it, aren't you? You're still paying 20%. You haven't been to university. There's no change for you. You're still based on the income tax threshold. But you have gone to university. So you've got your 20% to pay, but there's also the 9%. There's 20 and there's 9%. There's 20 and there's 9%. How much are you going to pay?
29%.
Yes! Starting to see this. Now, at £50,000, the tax threshold goes up to 40%. So, how much will you as a non-graduate will pay?
40%.
But you've also got the student finance 9%. How much will you repay?
49%.
49%. Above £150,000, where the rate goes up to 45%, how much will you pay?
45%.
And how much will you repay?
54%.
54%. So, the real difference to going to university and the way you should actually think about it, for 83% of you, is not, this is a debt, how am I going to repay it? But is in fact, you, above £25,725, will be repaying 9% more effective tax than our non-graduate here. And that's the way to think about it. Give these two a round of applause. And this is a really important fact. Now, I need to be plain. Don't think I'm saying that that's cheap. That isn't cheap. This isn't about saying it's not a big deal, don't think about it, don't worry about it. It can be a lot of money, but it's not a debt hanging over you. It's not a debt noose around your neck, £60,000, £60,000, how am I going to pay £60,000? You don't. You're repaying that 9%. You are going to pay more tax than the equivalent. Now, you have to ask yourself the question, is it worth it? Am I going to gain enough from my university education that it is worth paying 9% more tax? If you go to university and you earn the same amount as you would have done had you not gone to university, you are going to have less money in your pocket because of it. If you go to university and you earn more than you would have done had you not gone to university, then depending on the exact equation, you will have more money in your pocket even though you're paying more tax. And that is the financial debate. I should say, though, it's not really what I talk about, but university is about way more than how much you're going to earn. Going to university will let you meet people you wouldn't otherwise have met, let you engage in activities that you wouldn't have the option for, develop yourself as a human being to understand how our society works, what's going on about there, time to think, time to engage, time to grow, time to get a different set of values from the more narrow ones that we were all brought up in. That's not you, that's all of us. So university is far more than just about how much you're going to earn afterwards. Now, I actually have campaigned that we don't call this a student loan. In practical terms, not political, but in practical terms, it's more like extra tax, which is why I argue it should be called a graduate contribution scheme. Because it's not students who pay it, it's graduates. It's university leavers. And if I'd come in here and said, imagine we did the speech again. So I'm here to talk to you about your graduate contribution scheme. As you all know, if you go to university and you earn over £25,725 a year, you're going to repay 9% above that amount, until you repay roughly the cost of your going to university and the amount that it cost you to live off. If we talked about it like that, it'd have a very different feel, wouldn't it? And that is the problem.